Okay, so we just finished our fourth week of Believe With Me mornings, and we had a great morning talking about diligence. And our teaching went a little bit long today, so I'm going to try and sum it up quickly for those of you who weren't able to come, or for those of you who are just following along online and hopefully getting something out of what we're recapping every week. But as I was teaching the ladies this morning, I just really want to impress upon you how important the character trait of diligence is. You know, we can have some really smart kids, but if they're not hard workers, they're really not going to accomplish much in life. But by contrast, even if our children weren't gifted with a lot of intelligence, but they're very hard workers, there's no telling what they can accomplish with their life. So with that in mind, I want you to really listen carefully to what I have to teach you today about the character trait of diligence. First, I think that there are really two types of kids, at least that's what I've experienced in my 15. You have the type of children who are born and they literally are just hard workers from the get-go. You ask them to do something, they go over and above. What else can I do to help? They may have challenges in other areas of their life, but diligence is not one of them. By contrast, and I have a lot of children like this, they're not born diligent, and it takes not a week of training, not a month, not a year, years of training to teach them how to work hard. And I want to encourage those of you who say, I've got a 12-year-old and I've been trying to teach this kid to work hard for 3 or 4 years. I'm going to tell you, you've probably got another 8 ahead of you. Don't give up. It's hard work to teach a kid hard work. I wish there was a shortcut. If there was, surely I would have found it by now. But since I haven't, I'm just going to tell you, it's hard work. And it's worth it. It's so worth it. Those children that are really born hard workers, sometimes you have to tell them, calm down, relax, because they can become bent on very much a works type of mentality where if I work hard, I get approval. If I work hard, I get what I want. And you have to teach them sometimes to just calm down a little bit. It's going to be okay. You have a lifetime to accomplish your goals. You don't have to get them all done by the time you're 15. And by contrast, you have the children that you have to teach to work hard to say, you know, you only got one life to do this stuff in. So you need to work hard. The Bible says that diligence is a man's precious possession. It is a precious possession if your child has diligence in their heart and is willing to work hard with their hands and their feet all their life to accomplish something. And little by little, they will get somewhere and get farther than they ever dreamed. I want you to know that there's another verse that says in Proverbs, I think 22, it says, do you see a man diligent in his work? That man will stand before kings and not idle men. And I have a story to tell about this lady that my family's grown up around. And, she was given the laundry job in her household. Her father was in the Army. He was a tough nut. And, his shirts had to be perfect and his uniform had to be perfect and all that. But all that to say that when she was in college, she got asked to actually work for LBJ and his wife in the White House doing their laundry because the president liked how she did his shirts. And just because she was a hard worker, she got to be privy to conversations and meet people and be in close confidence with the first family because she traveled with them for a while because he liked the way she did his shirts. And what an experience at 19 years old, and what kind of opportunities that provided for her as she grew up, and the kind of recommendations she could get no matter where she went, just based on something as simple as she did his shirts. So really, the skills that we're going to train our children with in diligence, the things that we're going to use to train them with in diligence, can really put them in front of world leaders. I'm going to tell you that the best way I have found to train diligence, and if you found another way, please let me know, because I could use all the help I can get. If you've found another way, please share it with me. But the best tip I have for teaching diligence is zones. And I've written about this on the website, believewithme.com. I've written about teaching your children zones and how to divide up your household into zones. In our house, we have the laundry zone. We've got one kid over all that laundry, bless her heart. We've got 2 children over the kitchen job. And when I say they're over a zone, that means those children are responsible for everything that happens in that zone. The laundry person has to sort it, wash it, hang it, dry it, Iron it if necessary. Get out the stains. Separate out the delicates. Please remember to zip up the zippers on the backs of the dress. Please put the lingerie in the right bag so that our bras don't get ruined and so forth. So it's a pretty intensive job. And the reason I put generally one child over each zone is because I can gauge their diligence and the effectiveness and how we're getting somewhere in their character based on the condition of that zone on a pretty regular basis. I can walk through where their laundry is being taken care of, and I can see, have we gotten somewhere in the last week or month or 3 months that I've been teaching and training and riding this kid to get this job right. In the kitchen zone, if you don't get your job done, we're going to be hungry because I have plenty of work to do. I'm not coming in and picking up the slack. That being said, there's a long training process that goes into this. So when I'm talking about zones, I would encourage you to go to the website, look up the in the search box at the top, look up zones, look up chores, and you'll find a list of articles that I've written that have to do with this, which I'm not going to go into in specific detail right now. But the great gift of zones is that when a child is placed over a specific area, let's just take the laundry, for example, that child is 90% of the laundry they're washing is not theirs. 90% of the stains they're removing on uniforms, they did not put on themselves. The key here is that they are just serving their family. They are loving on their brothers and sisters. They are pouring into their family, not just serving themselves. Because here's the trick. You can have an A+ student and a kid who's head of the lacrosse team, and you say, I have a hardworking child. My child is a hard worker. My child is diligent. See, look at these grades. Look at his leadership skills. And I would say to you, yes, but does he serve anyone other than himself? Let's be honest, if a kid's got that kind of grades and a kid's got that kind of leadership on a team, it's because his parents have carted him around to tutors and to practices and to coaches and to meetings, and you've poured a lot of work into giving him that kind of success. The question is, what kind of work has he poured into the rest of the family? Because you could have a child who will do anything for their success and nothing for the success of everybody else. And the biggest, most important part that zones teach us, that working for the good of the family, be it the kitchen job, be it the bathroom job, or the laundry job, the biggest thing that teaches us is that we have buy-in to our family. We have sweat equity poured into our loved ones. And you'll never, ever realize how important that trait is until you're looking at your 15, 16, 17-year-old who hopefully by that time has poured many, many, many hours into weeding the yard because that's their job, or into taking care of some specific area of the household. They've got sweat equity. So when someone tries to tempt them, or someone tries to sway them, or someone tries to buy out their loyalty, either to peer pressure or to a group that you would rather them not have anything to do with, your child has poured in countless hours into your family. They will not walk away from it. Sweat equity, loyalty, that's what zones do for us. That's what training diligence into our children does for us. Hey, it's great that they do the laundry. Listen, I'm so thankful that I have a child that does the laundry. Make no mistake, I do plenty of loads in the middle of the night. I come behind the kitchen team and help out when they're behind, all those things. I don't sit on the couch and point and say, hey, you do this and hey, you do that. My kids have seen me on the ground, sweating alongside of them, teaching them over and over again, sometimes calling them out on it, sometimes being a bit of a tough nut about it. But at the end of the day, they know I've worked on their behalf. One last thing I want to say. I am able to do a lot of these things the way I can do them because I am home and I homeschool. So I want to tell you parents that if you work and if your children are at school, you're going to have to find a slice of time to fit this into your routine. And I know that can be challenging, and I know that with all the demands of work and school and tutoring and all these things that you're juggling in your mind, you're thinking, I can't fit one more slice in this pie. It's full. And I'm going to tell you that this is probably the most important slice you can fit into what you guys are doing as a family. I don't know what that looks like for you. I don't know if that means that Saturday after the baseball games, you come home and one boy is working on the garage and another one's out in the yard. I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm going to ask you to think hard, talk about it with your husband, see if you can find a way to make this work, because if you're doing all these incredible things, providing for your family, working hard and getting them to school and all the homework and so forth that comes with that, all the extracurricular activities, you might be tempted to say, they're working hard in school, they're working hard in sports, that's good enough. And I'm going to tell you again, they're only serving themselves, and that you don't want. You want them to buy in to what you're selling them, which is the joy of serving their loved ones, which translates when they grow up and they're married to, I love to serve my children, my husband, my wife, my family, because I grew up doing this. This brings me joy to do this. And I just want to encourage you. It takes a long time. And so when you're frustrated at the 8th week of going over the bathroom again, don't lose heart. And when you're frustrated and your child is 9 and you've been working at this for 3 years and you think, does this kid get it? Take heart. You've got probably another 12 years to work on this with them. You're going to get there. Don't give up. Don't be frustrated, because if diligence teaches us one thing, it is to overcome, to not give up, to work hard, to push through. And you want children that will push through and overcome. So you be the example by not giving up on teaching them to work hard. Thanks so much. I've enjoyed getting to recap with you guys. If you have any questions, any comments, send them to me. Put them in the comments below, or come to the blog, www.believewithme.com. Ask me your questions. Share them with me. I'd love to encourage you. Thanks so much. Have a great day.